welcome back to a new episode of A Day in the Life of a Virtual Latino. I'm Maria A., the Community Engagement Assistant at Virtual Latinos and today's host. And today we have the pleasure talking to Rosanna. She's a source to pay manager. She's a new mom that loves shopping, doing yoga, hiking, and watching movies. Hi, Rosanna. How are you today?
Hi, how are you? I'm good, thank you. How's everybody? I hope everybody's doing good.
Rosanna, I see we have a guest. Hi.
Yes. Mr. James, he just woke up. He wanted his bottle, but that's the beauty of working in Virtual Latinos, that you have the ability to work and to manage your new mom activities.
Yeah. Yes. How old is he?
He's 2 months old. He was born the 7th of September.
Wow. And how long have you been working at Virtual Latino?
Since May.
Since May. Well, so you had the chance, being pregnant and having your baby and still work.
Yes, awesome. Honestly, that was amazing. It was a great opportunity, and the company was great with everything, the pregnancy, the maternity, like everything. That's what I actually love working for Virtual Latinos, because no other companies gives you that liberty.
Yeah, that
to be at home and be with your baby, especially
sure, yes,
this old. So yes,
it's easier as well because you have your baby here, then you can go and type something, do something work related.
Yeah, usually I don't have my baby with me. I focus at work. My husband is at home when I'm working. But when days like today that he has to stay late, yes, it's really easy just to have him. I have a special place for work, so I don't work anywhere in the house. I have my office, but I bring his bouncy toys, and I bring his mat, and he's a really good baby. So he basically just sleeps. I can have him close to me, and I can still work, and it's brilliant, to be honest. I think remote working, it's one of the best things that could ever happen to me, especially right now.
Yes, I love that so much. Thank you for sharing that with us, Rosanna. Can you tell the audience how is a day in the life of Rosanna as a virtual source to pay manager? I mean, what are your daily work tasks?
Well, every day we have a daily meeting, and we do like what are going to do in this day kind of thing. After that meeting, we usually just receive emails, and we receive tickets of I work in a company that rents the space for other companies, and we are in charge of all the procurement for these companies. So they place POs, and we are in charge of giving all the follow-up for these POs. So I'm in charge of giving the follow-up of every PO. So I receive a ticket every time a PO is placed, and I contact the vendor and check the ETAs, and if it's already, the order is placed correctly and the prices are correctly, and how much it's going to take to get to the address. So basically that's my day to day. I usually I work with all the vendors, making phone calls to check all the POs, checking that everything is in order, and then I go back to the customer and say, okay, the thing you ordered, usually it's a laboratory, so they usually chemicals or stuff for their experiments or what they're working. So we check the ETAs, and it works with them, and then just follow up with the vendor to make sure everything arrives on time, and if we have a back order, give follow-ups.
And in what area or type of business are you currently employed?
Well, it's a laboratory.
Laboratory. Nice. Perfect. And you were saying that you have a lot of activities in your job. How is the communication with your colleagues?
Well, we usually communicate via Slack, which is really easy. Honestly, I've never worked with that before until Virtual Latinos, and it's been great, to be honest, because the communication, it's immediately, and it's all saved in one place. So whenever I go by, oh, we talked about this, I can just go back there and just follow up a file, a conversation, anything. It's just saved there. So it's a great way to communicate, and the whole company communicates through that. So you are aware of everything that's happening with the company. So I think that's a great thing to do with, because sometimes they isolate the areas. So in this company, they don't isolate the area. They just let you know everything. Of course, I think there's groups that you're not invited to, but the main ones you are. So you are always aware of what's happening with the company. So that's really good.
Perfect. So you would suggest, to have like a very good communication if you want to become a virtual assistant.
Definitely. You need communication, especially with your teammates. And whenever you're talking to someone in the company, whether it's your teammate or your boss or just a colleague, communication is base.
Perfect. What would you say is the most important lesson you've learned over your career as a virtual assistant?
I think managing your time correctly.
Time management.
Yes, I think time management gives you everything in order to fulfill all your activities. And as I said, it's important to have a space so you can just work in your space, because sometimes working from home is easy just to get distracted.
Yes.
Especially when, well, in my case, I don't have a big family. It's just my husband, my son, and me, right? But when you have children, like in ages that they take your time, if you don't have like a special place to work with, I think you can get very overwhelmed. So I think that's basic. And having your timings, like my husband knows from my schedule, 8 to 5, I'm working. Yes, of course, I have an hour of lunchtime, and yes, I go and have dinner with him, and I see my son if he needs something, but I'm working. And timing your times.
Yeah, timing.
To say it like that, but I think that's the best thing you can do.
That's your tip.
My advice would be that.
Yeah, for managing distraction. Perfect.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you for that. Yeah. What is one thing that surprised you when starting with your clients in Virtual Latino?
I think the ability to use your language in a different way. Yes, we all speak English, because if not, we wouldn't be here, right? But using it in this kind of situations, it's amazing. I think gaining the experience to use the English language for work and just be able to communicate with so many parts of the world. That's amazing. And one of the things I liked about that is, like, in this company, it's not just Americans or Mexicans, or there's Latins everywhere. So it's really nice to know that we are all connected.
Yeah. And now that you mentioned working from anywhere in the world, where are you right now?
I'm in Northern Ireland.
And you are Mexican, right?
I am Mexican. Yes, I lived in Mexico my whole life, but my husband is from here, from Northern Ireland. And I moved 2 years ago. And I mean, we still are working if we're going to stay here or going back for Mexico. And that's still, it's a debate.
It's a debate that you have.
It's a big debate, but honestly, finding Virtual Latinos for me was perfect, because the visa applications here are very expensive and very hard to get. So working here was not an option. So finding Virtual Latinos for me was perfect, because I've worked my whole life.
Yes.
And not working is actually weird for me. So this is a perfect way to be like win-win-win in every situation. I was able to work. I'm able to be with my son 24/7 at home, and I'm able to work from here.
Perfect. I love that so much. So that brings me to my last question. What advice or hack would you give a person that wants to start working remotely?
Good question. I think it would be get ready to train yourself, because for remote, I think you need to be keeping up with everything, technology, and yes, some companies give you training, which is great, but I think plus the company's training, you need to train yourself, and you need to be aware of every single technology thing that is coming up. And this is actually great for people that have that ability to work from home and just be gaining more experience in training.
He's awake.
He's very awake right now. He's like, where's the rest of my bottle?
He's a little muñequito.
Yes, he's a good boy. He's really a good boy.
He's our third guest. He's our second guest, I mean, besides you, and he's been excellent.
Oh,
so, yeah. Thank you, Rosanna, for joining us today and sharing your experience working remotely and sharing your insight and your tips to the new people that want to become a Virtual Latino.
Anytime. It's a pleasure.
And perfect. And thank you, everyone, for joining us on this new episode of A Day in the Life of a Virtual Latino. And if you like this video, hit the heart and subscribe so you don't miss any new episodes of A Day in the Life of a Virtual Latino. Goodbye.